Thank you so much for including your work, Carmelo. I hope to hear criticism from my illustration because I'm a little lost in my direction. Absolutely, I'm more than glad. I've got some really great ideas, and I think this is definitely going to help. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, using the machete to shave the legs, I think that's good. Line work is really nice. Good job. There's a few areas. Let's just start from here. I got a lot to mention here, so just give me a few minutes. So the main thing I see is I don't know where to start. Where's the first frame? I don't know whether we start here or we start here or we start here or we start in the middle. It's almost impossible to ascertain where we start. Okay, so we have to determine where we start. Remember that these ones, I mean, the starting point is right up here, and then we have these little kind of trails that indicate the path of the narrative. This one's connected by these little hairs from the guy's beard. This one's actually connected by the flight of the hornet. So we got to think about a way to, and I've got some suggestions, but we have to start with the initial frame, make sure the initial frame is very, very obvious that that's the starting point. And then we can logically follow the path from there. So a couple of areas. So presumably, gosh, I mean, presumably we start here. So she's walking to the bathroom, right? She gets in the bathroom with her glass of wine. And then different perspective, nice perspective showing her. And then all of a sudden she realizes her legs are really hairy. Oh no, right? Then we go from here. So right now, there's just, it's not a logical transition. What's she doing here? And how is this connected to what has happened so far, right? And then it's another point of uncertainty is right here where she all of a sudden just thinks about a machete. So the machete has kind of basically appearing into the narrative out of nowhere. I've got a suggestion, but I hope you understand that it's really going to be a great idea to maybe introduce or somehow give a notion, and so we're not just pulling the machete out of thin air. Okay, so let me give you my ideas. Okay, so anyways, then we also let me finish, and then I'll give you my ideas. And over here, we have to show her shaving with the machete. So we have to somehow show her holding the machete and scraping it across her legs to remove the hair. Then we come up with the final um, frame, right? So I think at this point, I've got a few suggestions. Okay, don't forget this. No, we can't include any words at all. So my suggestion is this, and I think your sketches, to a high degree, did a pretty effective job in some of the following elements. But so we have to introduce her as the main player. Okay, so we need to introduce her first before we show her walking to the tub or anything. We need to introduce her. So maybe we can show her with her hair tied up or tying her hair up with her bathrobe on, or I don't know how you want to do it. So to introduce the girl and the setting. So maybe she's in the bathroom looking in the mirror with her robe on, and the bathtub is filling up with water next to her, right? So that's introducing the setting, introducing the main character. From there, she gets in the tub and she has her wine, sipping her wine. Then she starts taking a look at her legs, realizing her legs are really hairy. And then maybe as in the frame where you're introducing, maybe for some reason there happens to be a decorative picture of a machete on the wall, right? Now, again, I'm just giving ideas. The intent is to get you to spark your imagination of how we can expeditiously approach this. So again, maybe maybe she's walking down the hall to the bathroom, and on the wall in the hall there's a picture of a decorative machete. Okay, then at this point she sees, oh no, I've got hairy legs. Then maybe at this point you can show her starting to use a like a disposable razor to shave her legs. Snap, the razor breaks, and she's holding a broken razor in her hand. Then she gets to this moment, like, what do I do now? Then all of a sudden she goes, wait a second. Then you show her looking out the bathroom to make sure no one's looking, running down the hall to where you introduced the machete as a decorative piece on the wall, and grabbing the machete, running back to the bathroom, then shaving with it. Do you see what I'm saying? This way, there's nothing that's not answered. Everything is answered. Everything makes sense. The machete isn't just appearing out of nowhere. And the problem right now, we're kind of missing a link here because we're going from my legs are hairy to I'm going to grab a machete, which doesn't make sense, right? Wouldn't it make more sense to say my legs are hairy? I'm going to try shaving them with a razor. Snap, the razor breaks. Now I have a problem. Now I have to introduce the solution and implement the solution, right? So think about that. Now, those are my recommendations. I think that they make really, really good sense when you think about it. Finally, we need to address, I'm glad you didn't place these in individual frames like a comic strip. I think that was a wise choice. So each one has an open relationship with the frame before and after it, as well as the other frames in the narrative, right? So I don't recommend placing them in boxes. I think that was a good call. But we need to connect these. I think we can think of a way to make them a little bit more compelling of connecting the illustrations and the narrative, besides this little line right here. So my recommendation would be to use something like maybe bubbles from the bubble bath to connect. This is what I'm talking about right here. See how this is connected with the hairs from the lumberjack? This one's connected from the path, the flight of the hornet. So you're using a component from the narrative to assist the viewer in their in directing them through the narrative, right? So I'm thinking if you have bubble bath here, right, then we can just use the bubbles to connect and create direction. Either that, or maybe we can even use little bits of hair, little stubble hairs, hair stubbles to connect. So just think about that. So at this point, I think hopefully my comments make things a little bit more clear in developing a good, solid, concise, and sensible narrative in a way that the viewer is following the narrative as it is intended. So at this point, as I said, let me know if you have any questions at all, because I think those will work. I think they will definitely add a realm of completion to these, and I think it'll help with the narrative. Another thing you want to do is in frames like this right here. So you've got her with her hair pulled up, right? Her hair is pulled up, but here her hair is not pulled up. We don't see the bun that it's in. Here's the bun, here's the bun, here's the bun. No bun here. So this could cause some confusion, and maybe there's no bun. Somebody might mistake this for a different character. So make sure that she is immediately recognizable. I think in this case, the best way to do that is to be consistent with the fact that her hair is pulled back up in a bun on the top of her head. Okay? All right, so those are my recommendations. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. But this is a really good start, and I think you've got a great idea, and I think it's going to work out. So again, really super important. Any questions at all, let me know. All right, thank you.